bounce on the dance floor.
We're ready to bring the fun and the excitement today for our live stream. Today, I'm Michelle Cordero, Education Director, ASIS Massage Education, and we have a special treat today. We are going to be chatting with Morgan Strong, one of our instructors here at our Mesa campus. But as we're going to find out, he somehow has gotten his way into all the campuses, bringing the fun, bringing the funk, and bringing the learning all over all the campuses. Some of you who may know Morgan or get to know Morgan, you'll know everyone usually describes him as a pretty energetic, fun person, willing to say yes to just about everything. And I'm going to give you an example of that when we said, hey, would you mind posing with some of our items? And this is what this happened. Ha! So we were just having fun with that, and we thought it looked great. But this is team player 101 here, friends. This is definitely what Morgan's all about, and I'm really happy to feature him today. And so we get to share a little bit more about, get to share him out in the world a little bit more than he already is. So watch out, world, here he comes. So without further ado, let's say hello to our friend Morgan here. Hello, Morgan.
Hello. How are you? How are you doing?
Doing great.
That is the absolute most ridiculous picture of me ever, and I'll take it.
It's the cutest. I love it. It's so adorable. We just have this collection of pictures growing of you, of all the fun stuff we make you do. But you're not really twisting your arm at all for us to make you do it either. So,
No.
Yeah, not really.
I'm a giant child. That's all there is to it.
Which is what makes it a lot of fun too. So I know we're going to chat a little bit about, some of the programs that you've helped create for ASIS, in the curriculum world and also in our fun extracurriculars, if you will. And we'll get into all those things and maybe a little preview of some of the things that might be coming up without giving too much away as well. But let's chat about you first a little bit and get to know you a little bit more. I always ask everybody how they've gotten to the field, what brought you in. I know a little bit of your story, but it's a unique story and it has a little bit of travel involved, which we'd love to hear. So, and a little bit of skepticism, which I find really interesting about a lot of what you are really into in the field has come out of actually being not such a believer and then being shown that like how things can work and you're like, that's it, sign me up. So you want to share a little bit about your journey to get here?
Yeah, for sure. So I always was interested in massage therapy, but like really had no kind of concept as to like what it really entailed. In my head, I always thought it was one of those things where like, rich people got to do it on vacation. It was something that you did as like a couple, like, on an anniversary trip or, just because you just got married or something along those lines. And that wasn't for me. I did not want to rub oil on people's bodies on vacation. That was just like never my jam. God, my career has been all over the place. When I first grew up in life on round one, I was a musician. So I used to play the bassoon. I'm sure you've seen lots of fun, crazy, stupid pictures of that. But that's really what I thought I was going to go into was music. Went to college for music. I've played in Carnegie Hall. I've had a lot of wonderful things happen with music, but it just wasn't my career path. So part two of life brought me over to the restaurant industry, which I very much enjoyed. I did a lot of training for like new restaurant openings and stuff like that. And on my travels, got me over to the Cayman Islands because a good manager that I used to work with ended up starting to run a restaurant down there in the Cayman Islands and asked if I wanted to come. Couldn't think of a reason to say no. So I was like, heck yeah, I can do anything for 6 months. And then 4.5 years later, I realized that it was time to leave because, 6 months had been up for many times, many times. But while I was down there, is when I actually met probably one of the most dynamic people in my life as far as massage therapy goes. We were chit-chatting one day. She was a massage therapist and worked at a physiotherapy place down there as well, and then had her own practice. And we were just chatting, and I was like, what's it, do you really enjoy your life, like rubbing oil on people who are rich on vacation? And she like kind of shot her head over at me. I was like, what? Is that really what you think that we do? And I was like, yeah. That's actually exactly what I think you do. And she said, oh, okay. She's like, get on the table. And
Mm-hmm.
from then on, I have been learning to eat my words pretty regularly, and I do that often now. That was my first experience understanding like what body work was all about, and it was so different than rubbing oil on people for vacation. So I was happy to have somebody very much, and in a loving, stern way, show me that I was very wrong. And that has happened many times throughout my life. Through many of the trainings that I've done and taken, like I've been a skeptic or a non-believer and kind of been like, oh, I'm not really sure about it. And then somebody will do something, or they'll show me something, or I'll watch a bodywork something happen and change a person. And right back in there with the spoon and the words in the mouth, I'm eating my words again and usually changing my opinions on things pretty quickly. So that's my story as to how I got into massage. Yeah, I was out in the Cayman Islands. This person took me under her wing. She was amazing. I got to work in her studios for a little while. When I came back to the States, though, had to get that beautiful piece of paper that said I had graduated from somewhere. So I went to school in New York and did my formal training there and stuff. And then quickly moved out to Arizona because after, 4.5 years in the Cayman Islands and a couple of years in Arizona before that, I was not okay with winter anymore. So out I came. And then that's pretty much been it. That's my story ever since.
You gotta keep them bundled up, nice and warm.
Freezing all the time. I just can't. It's so sad. If it's below 81, I'm like, no, I can't do it. Give me sweatpants.
Yeah, no. But one of the things I love about you, so many things we can go on the list, but one of the things, because the story of you and how you are so quick to say, okay, show me and let me see how this works, and not necessarily questioning someone and challenging them to make you a believer, but you're so open-minded to learning. And I think that that translates, and also it permeates through our whole campus and all the other campuses too. I feel like a lot of our staff, our faculty, they really embody that as well. And that's one of the great things. I feel like the vibe has been really great with that. In the last couple of years, everyone wanted to learn off each other and really try to grow and say, that's not my real thing. Go talk to Morgan about that, or go talk to Michelle or Jen or whoever it is. Yeah, I really like that, always questioning. It's a great example for our students and such as well too. But so now what? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So what's your focus now as far as like your practice and what you're teaching?
Yeah, for sure. So right now I'm like my whole life has dived into cupping. Another example of me famously eating my words, happily never gonna do cupping, never had any understanding of why somebody would want a hickey on their body. Nobody should have that. How is that therapeutic? On and on and on. Went to a conference when I was out in Vegas one time, and I, was there for 2 days. I watched 2 very quick moves with cups, and I watched body work like legitimately change a person's structure. And it was the first time for me that I'd ever actually seen bodywork work that quickly. So once again, spoon, mouth, eating words all over the place. And, I dove right into cooking, and that's really the crux of my practice now. Not so much that it's just cupping, but being able to add it into the massage. It's just helped me out. It's my clients out so much more, I guess, you can get to so much more with the cupping abilities. So that's really where I guess my crux of my practice is right now. But as far as where I'm at, I'm in a wellness and rehabilitation and wellness center, which which is really nice. So I get to work with medical doctors, physician assistants. In the practice right now, we have a ultrasound technician. We had a PT studio in here for a while. So I'm really big on the rounded approach. I'm sure you've heard in a lot of these, podcasts, I guess you call them, whatever they are. I'm not very technologically savvy either. But that idea of like collaboration over competition, that's always been my mantra. I've never thought of, there's just too many differences in the world to try and compete with people over everything. But like getting somebody else's opinion or how they approach something or some new little trick or nuance to something that you never had before, that's just, I mean, that's what makes things. That's what gets everybody so excited. Right. So yeah, I'm big on collaboration.
Yeah, absolutely. And, just bringing up an idea and let's brainstorm, let's chat about it, which is how we've gotten to where we are in a lot of the things that we've created. And so the curriculum here at ASIS it's always growing. I call it a living curriculum because we're always adding to it and seeing what can be better. But I know in the last couple of years, we've had many conversations about how can we make this better? What can we add? What can we not? And so this is kind of shows like where I think your role here in our place here being like the ideas man. My first meeting with you is, you're just like, I'm not going to send in my resume. I'm going to show on up and do what I want to do. And just to get hired because that's me. But my first introduction to cupping was through your mock lesson that you showed us. And right away, I tell anyone who's in that room within that couple of days, we all were on Amazon buying our first set of cups. Because we were like, this is the coolest thing ever. But just that conversation, get that started going. And then next thing you know, now it's in our curriculum. Of course, that didn't happen overnight, but this is kind of like your MO. Like, let's just convince someone, show them how fun it could be and what we can do. And then boom, now all 4 campuses, we have all our students are doing 2 days of cupping in person along with the lecture. And so, we credit that to you. And it's definitely one of our more popular classes because the students get really jazzed up about it and get really excited, partly because of your excitement along with it too. Never a dull moment in your classes. We're not falling asleep in your classes for sure.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about how you wanted to include that and why an entry-level massage therapy program and not just out in a CE world. Why do you think why does it fit in an entry-level program and how is it maybe different from the CEs that you offer?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I want everybody to get to experience and understand cupping, period. Like I said, my background on it was not I don't want to say drink the Kool-Aid because that implies death, but I was not somebody who jumped on the bandwagon as far as like the cupping thing goes, right? Like I was not all on. I mean, it's every time I start a class for cupping, I laugh a little bit because I'm like, I had no desire in any way, shape, or form whatsoever to learn or teach this modality. But because I came from such like I don't want to say a dark place, but from such a not interested place to very much, I mean, now I teach it. I absolutely love it. I think people need to understand what your preconceived notions are about something and experience it so that you can have an honest opinion. You get so many things where people are like, oh, I saw that, I know what that means. Well, you don't though until you get to experience it, or because I was the same way. Like I was the same person who was like, nah, that's not it. So yeah, no, I'm super passionate for those reasons. I like it in an entry level class because I think, or an entry level school anyway, because it's, very much a body work. As we talk about in the continuing education classes, this is not a new fad. This is not something that's been around quickly. It's been around just about as long as hands-on body work has. Like we've got hieroglyphics back dating down to Egyptian times. You've got things in China. You've got things in, Greek and Roman times and all throughout the ages. This is not new. It's just been brought about again, right? It's just been like re-seen. And I think that's important, right? Like, I think body work is old and ancient and, has its place. This is just another piece of that. So I will champion as long as people are learning stones in class, you should also learn cupping, damn it.
Yeah, and I think I like your approach, of course, too, in talking about how some of the preconceived notions that people have and just see the marks and think they're bruises and things. And I don't want to turn this all into a cupping conversation necessarily, because we have other things we want to chat about too. But that I think it gives, like, I feel like we put a little responsibility on our hands so that we can properly teach, and by we I mean you, to get these students the tools in their hands and say, you know, it doesn't have to leave people in pain. It doesn't have to cause these issues. You need to think about the lifting process and not the pushing. That was my issue in the beginning, right? You kept coming over and pulling my hand up because it wasn't normal. Right? I'm always pushing down, 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 down. And the problem with being able to get things readily everywhere we go, anyone can go on Amazon or anywhere else and buy a set and start using it because they saw it on a video or something like that. So I think it's a great responsibility that we've taken on to properly teach the mechanics. Not everyone has to be on that bandwagon, but I think most of the students incorporate a little bit, at least in part of even at their self-care, if nothing else. So I'm a huge proponent of it for self-care. So. Yeah, so I have to think.
Like one of the things I love about the massage school, especially with AIS in general, right? It's just that you get such a tasting of so many different modalities. Mm-hmm. Like, why would you want to leave this one out? So I will champion it forever.
And we usually get that every time on a feedback forum. Doesn't matter the class. We need more time. We need more time. Need more time. And it's like, we're only an 800-hour program, friends. We can only do so much. We're giving you a little taste. Arm you, and then you can go and take your CE classes that you just happen to have. Who knew? So just check our website for someone's coming up soon, folks.
Heck yeah.
But you do have specialized areas, so you teach a little bit of basic techniques in the classroom, but then if people want to go into learning the more protocols for the hip or the face or different areas, then that's where the CE classes come into play, right?
Exactly. And like I said, I broke it up into different parts of the body. Some people are upper body people, lower body people. I got a face and abdomen class. So yeah, for all of that, absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. I was just looking at some of the comments. I see my Paul wants to say hi. I made sure he was like, so my husband Paul was on, and of course Laura is always watching, and she's calling you now our spokesman for ASIS. Just so you know,
I would like to be director of creativity. That would be nice. Director of creativity.
We'll do it. We'll make another T-shirt for you. No problem.
Yeah, I love T-shirts.
And one of our newer instructors up in Flagstaff, Nicole, has stopped in and said hello. And our Roman, our good friend Roman from the night class, has thumbs upped it. So just thought you'd like to say hello to our friends out there that are.
I'll take it.
Awesome. So jumping from cupping, that was I don't want to say it was your first thing that you started to get me to be like, hey, can we do this? But it was the first one that you started planting the seeds. But in between there, we started this little thing called the Massage Olympics. So tell me what happened where you said, we got to do this?
So, I mean, I think I told you already, I'm basically a giant child. So like once we get that like completely out of the way, that should clarify a lot of what I do. But I'm basically like a giant child. So I remember when I was like going through my little, trolling through the interwebs and all of those things. And I was seeing this stuff about, oh God, what was it? They still have it. Massage competition. Help me out with this.
Like the World Massage
competition.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's something along those lines, right? World Massage group of people, championship, something like that. And I was really interested in it actually at first. I was like, God, what? And again, here's my brain versus what it actually was. In my brain, I'm like, wow, what a great place to get all these people together. You probably have people from all over the world, probably get to learn all these different things. I bet they had like people to talk to, this, that, and the other thing. Sounds like such a great networking piece, right? Mm-hmm. So as I read further and further and further, I was 100% competition. Well, like I said, I had a really hard time because I was really interested in going to it and was like kind of like excited about it, but it didn't align with any of my values, right? Collaboration over competition, going to a World Massage Championship competition, that's not how I see massage. I don't think it's like there is one amazing person and everybody else is all to the wayside. I think that they're like paintings, right? Some people are Van Gogh, some people are Da Vinci, some people are all of the different ones, right? But it's at one point it gets to be like a personal preference. So I was kind of like frustrated because I was like, God, that would have been so much fun, something along those lines, meet all these people, this, that, and the other thing, yabba, yabba, yabba. So, and then I started looking at the school and I was like, well, we've got these two programs. We've got this daytime program, we've got this nighttime program, and then we've got all these teachers. And when I first got to the school, it was a lot of like teachers were ships passing in the night, like nobody really got to experience each other. I don't really love that. I like to I don't know, I'm a big fan of knowing people. So that was weird for me. And then, so we tried to like work on that a little bit. And then we had these two campuses and I was teaching the AM classes and the PM classes, and they had no idea where the crossover with these two people were at all. So my crazy brain just started to spin off one day and I was like, well, I don't like the idea of championships, but the Olympics is always fun. And the Olympics, I mean, that's for all novice, right? They're non-professional players. That's how that works. So this kind of works out perfect for school. We could do it on a day where the AM group could meet the PM group, and that could be kind of fun. And we could do games and, well, I guess not really like Olympics. I guess I was starting to go more into like the field day that you have in elementary school. Right. So, and that's pretty much how it all started. From then on, it just kind of like took on a form of its own. But I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's definitely like all meant for massage. It's just a fun way to do things that we do every day, just to reinforce them in a way that's not so clinical or so intensely thought about, right? Like, how many tables can you adjust the height on in the shortest amount of time?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. It is for us watching.
I mean, I love it. It's definitely my favorite day, period.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was looking at some things, some of our archived footage, if you will, of some other stuff, and just seeing the transformation from our first one to our last one we just held a couple weekends ago in Tucson. We actually brought their first games there. But I want to kind of show and this is when, of course, in my free time, when I get to put things together, I like to do fun things like this, but we have some fun with this. So there, for example, we can take this really seriously if we want to. So let's take a look.
I don't. This is why I have to work with you, Michelle. I can't do this.
Hardcore. Yep. Yeah, a little dangerous even. Living on the edge.
Living on the edge. So many bones. Wow, this is old, huh? This is like, I mean, this was pre-COVID.
Yes.
As you can tell with the masks. Yes,
nice little caveat there.
Those are not our students. Just so everybody's well aware.
We're very serious fans. So, stop use. So, yeah, we pump up our students there and let them know that that's coming pretty soon. So we are having our Mesa games here on the 3rd. So we're going to have a pretty good turnout for that one. But just some fun things that we get to do, competitions, but in a fun way. Everyone's a winner. They all get participation prize at the end, right? So not in a way that the competitive nature of these like very zen massage therapists all of a sudden pop out of nowhere. Like, woo, I didn't know you had that in you. That's
talking smack, all in it.
Yeah.
No, but that was fun though. Like the Olympics, they totally like, I don't know. We had the idea for it. We had the first one went off great for as far as I was concerned, without a hitch. We had games, we had prizes, we had all that fun stuff, and then it just keeps snowballing into like more, right? Like now we have the whole marketing event. It goes up and down the street here in Mesa. We did the same thing in Tucson. I mean, it's been awesome.
Yeah, and that last one in Tucson, when we got the working with the different businesses, we've been trying to, do some marketing things in there. And now someone wants to partner with us and create an event with us. And that was pretty cool. And the students, I think they're so proud of themselves. Like, I did that. I was able to make that connection with the company, with the business, and go in there and talk about what I do and make it sound interesting. And someone wanted to partner with us. So that was really, it was a proud mama moment I felt for those students who were able to make that happen. So that was great.
And it was
them.
a macaroon place. So how do you go wrong with macaroons? I mean,
exactly.
Sorry, I'm in.
Exactly.
Awesome. But I think it's like another thing that our students really need, right? Is like that chance to like break free of the mold, or like to just try it once so they can see like it's actually not the craziness that they have set up in their head. I mean, that's like marketing piece, I feel, in the Olympics, but also with transition days. When we go into those, it's they finally get a chance to break free and like get over that hump that holds so many people back.
Yeah. So you mentioned transition day. So I, of course, know what that is. But the transition day has also been one of your other babies that you've nurtured and has seen grown. And I just was talking about it today with our leadership group about how this last one felt just came together so well. It just felt so cohesive. We probably had the most employers there for it, but I should stop talking about it because people don't know what we're talking about. So tell us transition day. First, describe it and explain why transition. Why that title?
Sure. Well, when I first got to the school, we were having there was a lot of like talk with people with placement, and either getting it or massage therapists not getting placed with jobs and this that. Always the thing that schools struggle with, just period. So one of the reasons we kind of like brought this day on was to kind of help out with placement. And the problem was less about the students being good enough to get a job. It was about the students taking that month after school and not going out and getting a job, right? Like, just, I don't want to say lazy, just, fear comes into it. Are you good enough? Are you not? I haven't done it in a while. It takes a minute and you kind of like second guess yourself and it starts to go off to the wayside. So we decided to put this transition day in really for the students' benefits. I do like to call Olympics like a fun day for me, right? Because I like to laugh on that one. But transition day really has nothing to do with me. It's like about the students. So what we'll do is we'll bring the students in and they do a full hour massage. So not 50 minutes, not anything longer, just one full hour. And we invite either employers or other business owners from around the area to come in and watch. We used to do this in person, but now we do it on Zoom, which might seem to work out really well. Then business owners don't have to leave their business for this, which is nice. But regardless, we all get on there. We watch the full 1 hour massage, and then the students who are doing the massage, once they're finished, we give them about a 15-minute break, and then they go into what I refer to as like the speed dating round of interviews. Really, it's only about 10, 15 minutes with each one of the employers that are there. But we're able to set them off into a separate room so each individual therapist and employer can have their own one-on-one meeting, which has been great because the therapists get used to like talking about themselves and, the type of questions that are going to come up in an actual interview. It's nice because the employers get some one-on-one time and really get a chance to talk about the company and what they do and how their company stands out from the crowd. And by the end of the day, almost every time, almost all of the therapists get almost all of the companies, and they've got, a whole bunch of interviews set up. They've got, walk-arounds with the companies so they can go meet the place and, kind of take a peek in there. And sometimes they even get a free massage out the deal, which is always nice. But that's kind of what it's turned into. Really, we call it transition day because it's our last chance to transition them as a school into the real world, right? So as far as I'm concerned, this is very much a school project, right? Which is why we keep it in the school setting, which is why I like to run it, because I'm very micromanagey. But just to make sure that everything is like working the way that they should, it's their chance to showcase their skills for as many employers as possible. Bringing the employers in is great. It's been fantastic. They've gotten all, the hiring from it has been astronomical, which has been awesome. We've gotten some great feedback from them. They really appreciate it. It's kind of like our version of a job fair. But job fairs are so impersonal, right? You end up handing out a lot of free pens and getting a whole bunch of emails and not really much comes of it. With something this small, and again, we do it at the end of every one of the massage programs. So that's like once or twice a month. Smaller numbers, smaller amount of people. You actually get to see a massage. You have a conversation about something that you just saw, not about your ego in a room with a whole bunch of other egos. You know, it's actually pretty awesome. So that's where it kind of came from. And in my head, it's just fantastic because it breaks that one piece, right? That piece where you like have to go out and like say hi to somebody and go for the job interview, right? Like once you've gotten through it, because everybody's nervous coming in on that day, right? Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh my God, my interview's not right. Oh my God, look at my outfit, right? Everybody has a heart attack about it. But by the time they're all done, they're like, damn, that wasn't so bad. God, I feel really good. Oh, I've got this many interviews set up. Oh, I can't wait to go see this. And now they have a plan, especially while they're right after school, while they're waiting for that license to go through.
Yeah. There's so many things I love about it. A couple of things that I thought to mind while you were talking is having that. I've been to an open housey sort of thing, or a career fair, or a networking event, and I walk in and I'm just like, who do I talk to? How do I do this? What's going on? And I feel like sometimes introverted people might have more of a challenge with that kind of thing. And with our students, we're forcing them to do this. Yes, you have to do this. We always get that question about that. And
it's a fight every time.
Yeah, because I don't want to have a whole other story about that. But usually they come out of it realizing, thank you for making me do that. Totally. But I noticed with more of our quiet students or more introverted students, they kind of come out of their shell a little bit, but they do it's in a smaller way, that they don't have to feel like this big event that everything's hanging on this balance. And so they kind of get the jitters worked out a little bit. So they know that they can do this. And then, okay, yeah, when I go and I really want the job at this place, which might be one of the employers for sure, then I know I can do the massage. I got feedback from the employers, told me I did great work. They told me they like talking to me, and that really boosts their confidence level. I see that in students all the time. They just, the relief of being done, but then also the excitement of like, oh my gosh, I know what I'm doing. I can be a real therapist. It's like, it's really, really cool to see. And the last couple of times around, I've seen more and more students say, hey, can I show them this? Can I do this? Like, and not just like a general Swedish massage. They're like, they want to do different. We had someone do a cranial session this week. We had someone do a lomi session this week. We've had a Thai session done, and then we've had a bunch of integrative ones using the cups. We always talk about our good friend Colin with his throwing out everything. He just like pulling out tools all over the place, and every single modality he ever learned was on there.
I wish we had that recorded. That was just incredible.
But just from the student, for the students, I just feel like this is such an amazing boost of confidence for them. And then also with our employers, how we're able to make these connections with them and continue that. We've had employers with us, with every single one. They're there every single time. And even helping with interviewing students from another campus that they would never even see to come to their place, but they know it's important for the industry to just get students ready to be out there and be good therapists. And so we have to thank our employers all the time for that, taking 3 hours out of their day to do these things. But it was really, really great. You said 10-15-minute interviews. We got 8 minutes the other day because we had so many people there.
So many people, I bet. Oh,
yeah. God. So it was like, let's talk about speed dating. That was like the fastest speed dating we ever did. But yeah, it worked really, really well. So
yeah, well, sometimes you need it, like I said, it's just enough to break those jitters, I don't know. And like as a teacher, like as somebody who teaches at the school, like I remember hearing about these placement things and just being like sad, like I'm a teacher here. I'm really proud of like what these students are doing. Like, how do we get them out there to be seen? Like, I love the teachers that I work with. Mesa campus is amazing. But like to not get to have these students be showcased or seen, or it's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of peacock moment. We're showing off our children, so
right. Papa,
things, pulling out my wallet with all the pictures coming up here. It's all what they do. It's a beautiful, proud instructor moment, for sure, to have them do that. So, Yeah, and we've gotten all the campuses involved in them as well, and I know sometimes they're like, oh, how come Mesa gets everything? It's because Mesa's got Morgan, and that's what happens. But we are working more and more to get everything on all 4 of our campuses, all the fun stuff that we're doing, and hopefully bring the Olympics soon to our northern campuses. We keep kind of talking about maybe having an all 4 campus event somehow. See how we can manage that someday.
That would be amazing.
Really, really fun if we can make it happen. It's always logistics always gets in the way with all that stuff. But so what's on the horizon? What are some things? What are plans? What are some goals? What are some things that we're wanting to see for our students, and how can we make it happen?
Nice. So, well, we used to do these job talks where we'd have different employers come in and do a little chit chat with the students. I would love to see, we're going to have that come back again at some point. Again, with the times of COVID and all that thing. We've just had to make some pivots and some changes, and that one just had to go on the back burner. Excuse me, I've been indigestion, I apologize. But yeah, so I want to bring that back, but instead of doing more of a job talk, because they get it in transition day and everybody knows all these different companies, especially ones that are more of corporate style setting or franchise style setting. I'd really love for them to come in and learn some new things, because as an educator, I'm all about the teaching part of it. So I'd love to get some of our job talk employer type things to come do these one-off day classes. So at some point, I would love to see, like a good Saltstone class, right? Like just a one day, nothing crazy, dangle a carrot, make me want to take a CEU. I'm totally in. So I'm thinking like a saltstone something, or like a percussion something, because these hypervolt and theraguns are all the craze nowadays. So hypervolt, theragun, if you're listening, feel free. We'd love to plug you and get some free advertising. We're totally down, and I'm shameless. But I'd love to do something fun like that, some different hot stone, cold stone ideas, things like that would be really fun. So that's what I'd like to do for the students, for sure. And then it's coming. I'm hoping for the end of this year, but so help me goodness, there will be some type of a massage expo that is going to happen at the Mesa campus for sure. In my crazy brain, as you can see, the eyes just lighting up. I have a 3-ring circus idea with a whole bunch of people for come one come all type of a deal. It would be a place where you could come in and be able to talk to people about jobs, possibly getting a new one or switching what you have. It would be a place where you could come in and watch some amazing demos by some amazing CE providers, interactive, that kind of a thing. Like I said, I'm all about the collaboration. Obviously, it would be a chance for people to come in and check out the school, kind of see what else is going on, but then also to get some companies in to talk about specific products. We're all looking for types of creams and oils, and the CBD thing is a craze, and essential oils is a craze, and it'd be nice to have some companies in there that dealt with their particular type, right? So getting some special oils in, or oil companies. I just got to meet somebody down at the Queen Creek Oil Distillery field thing. So like, again, organic homemade oil type things might be a really fun thing to get in. So yeah, there will be something along those lines, but I'm on the ADHD side, so you can be sure that every place that you look, there will be something new and some kind of squirrel moment going on where everybody can go check it out. So that's what I'm hoping for, but that is very early in the works.
For sure.
But as soon as I can get the hey, okay, we're gonna make this all bust out. So
and I think hopefully as numbers still look better for COVID reasons, and if we can keep moving on a trajectory that we're wanting to expand and break out a little more space for things like this, and expand our CE classes that we've been working on as well.
That's what I think it would be a nice way to kind of like promote the CE classes, because we're starting to get quite a few in there, and it would be nice for people to just know, just know that the school is around and what it does. I mean, I'm, like I said, so proud of the therapists that we put out and the people who work there,
Yeah, I'd love to just be a hub for like community, and let's just gather and share ideas and do fun things. So
and let's face it, Michelle, we as a campus are sandwiched in between like 6 bars that are walking distance. I mean, if nothing brings people together like massage, then it's certainly like beer.
Yeah. Yes. And we got the 2 new ones sprouting up on both sides of us coming this end of this year.
Hello, friends. Hello, friends.
Good one. That's why we have 2 hands, so to have 2 bottles. 2 mugs. Shout out
Monday,
to
Wednesday, Friday plays. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday plays,
Exactly. Yeah. We got our friends. We got Oro, our friends Oro. We got the Chupacabra. We got Cider Core. We got Desert Eagle Brewery, 12 West already here. And now we're going to be adding Pedal House to our left, or depends which way you're looking, and Beer Research Institute on our right. It's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. We're excited. We're going to figure out how to collaborate there too. So
you know it. Hello, friends. Can we get breathalyzers at the front door? That might be the new thing. We're going to trade in our thermometers for a breathalyzer.
We'll plan the classes for early enough so then you can go be merry afterwards. So it'll be fine.
Right. See, perfect. Hit up the happy hour.
I love it. Always a joy. You're my you're Bert from Mary Poppins. It's a jolly holiday every time I talk to you, Morgan. So
Some people think so. I don't know about everybody, but
there's definitely higher energy by the time we finish kind of having a conversation. Unless I'm on the receiving end of one of your brainstorms. Sometimes it's a little tiring. I gotta process.
That's true. I mean, listen, Michelle, I'm going to have to give all the props to you because this brain is very crazy. And you're the only person I have met in my lifetime so far that can take it as an appreciative thing and go somewhere with it. Not just
I'm just let me think about that. That's, yeah.
You really have, by the way, for everybody who's watching. She's very good at that. I'm like, oh, do you think it's going to happen?
Not yet. But I like your thinking and your enthusiasm. That's always welcome here.
So I'm director of creativity.
I know. We'll make a plaque or something. Yeah.
I'll take a plaque. I like a plaque.
Okay, my friends. So we're nearing our time together. So I want to ask you my fun questions that you have to know.
Oh boy.
I forgot to give them to you ahead of time, so I'm gonna fly in.
No, this is gonna be really good.
All right, so if you, which talent or superpower would you like most to have?
Probably to fly. I'm down with flying. I just want to be able to take off and soar through the air and check out some really cool things that you can only get to through flying. I would say teleport, but I'm definitely a journey kind of guy, not just the destination. So I'd have to go with flying. Nice.
Okay. If you weren't a massage therapist, what occupation would you most like to have?
Do I have to be good at it now?
No.
Oh, okay. If I could be anything in the entire world, I would probably be a tennis player. It's really weird, but I have no hand-eye coordination when it comes to like a racket and ball type of thing. That doesn't work. Entire backs and 2 hands, I'm in. But a racket and a ball, not so much. I'm really funny to watch. So I guess that's what I would want to be, a tennis player.
Is that maybe just the outfits?
Short shorts? Nah, that's not me.
We've seen those legs. You do not get any sun on them. Okay.
They're bright white and see-through. I swear, I used to live in the Caribbean.
Well, now you know the dangers of sun overexposure, so that's good.
Yeah, you go see-through when you stop.
If money and circumstances were not an issue, where would you most like to live?
Oh, on the top of a mountain with nobody around. I don't know. Where would I most like to live? I don't know. I did enjoy my time with Cayman. I did enjoy being in the Caribbean. I would probably say there. Knowing that I had enough money to leave whenever I wanted, I would go with that.
All right. Okay. What is your most treasured possession?
My cat.
Oh, little Mesa.
Yeah, my cat or my grandma, but she's not really my possession. But I love you, Grandma. If you're watching, you're not watching, but I still love you. Shout out.
There. Yay, Grammy. And what would you tell your 18-year-old self?
Oh God. Hang on, buddy. It's a bumpy ride. I don't know. I probably would say exactly that. Like, I mean, more like, I guess, hang on, it's a bumpy ride, but like, you don't even know what you don't know yet. So just enjoy it, man.
Yeah, for sure it's a bumpy ride. So on that note, for a bumpy ride, I need to do one more. I just really do need to do one more of what happens when things go wrong at the Massage Olympics. Yes, so right. So
Yes.
let's. Oh, don't tell me it's gonna be slow. Oh, come on! Don't do this to me. Come on. Oh,
Well,
there
we
was
can give.
challenges.
Is this the 2 video part?
Well, I was going to do the second one of how it got a little out of control, but
You should show both.
there we go. Yeah, this is what happens when things get out of control. This is not possible. Yeah, they were instructed to circle around like that, just so everybody knows. Somehow it happened.
This is what I'm saying, man. Like this is a video that makes me just smile and happy, man. So what you had a song playing, and every so often Michelle would scream "turn," right? So they were standing in a circle, and they would just turn 180 degrees and beat on the next person's back, right? Out of nowhere, the second cadence of the song, they start running in circles. The best part, I'm sure you can't hear it in this video with us talking and everything, but somebody screams at the end of the video, "Why are we running?"
Poor thing. Just so we know, a little shout out to Jessica Santana, our Tucson campus director, who is not a massage therapist, didn't know what she was getting herself into, and just said, "Okay." And I threw her in the circle, and she went for it, and had a bunch. I think she might have been the one. Why are we running? So always a fun time when you're around, Morgan, and I appreciate you taking time out today and making me have times like that, and keep them coming for sure. So friends, if you want to get into any of Morgan's classes, there's a few still coming up. They're on our website. If you want to check out for the CE classes, he always has them getting scheduled. If you don't see one that's coming up with a cupping class. And if you want to join our Massage Olympics, got to join the program. So come open house this Monday, the 29th at 6 o'clock. We'll join it virtually and in person, all 4 campuses simultaneously. Check out our Facebook page for that event information as well. We'll be doing those regularly. This is our first one doing it this style. So come and join the fun. I can guarantee you're going to have it here. So thanks, Morgan, Mr. Morgan Strong, as our special guest today. And thanks for taking the time out.
Of course.